Well, hello and welcome to another Sunday fish sketch here at the Alaska Sea Life Center as part of our Telequarium programming. Once again, my name is Alex and I am joined by Haley for our Sunday fish sketch today. And if this is your first time, if it's not, you already know this because I do this every week. But if this is your first time tuning in for Sunday fish sketch, Sunday fish sketch is this great little Twitter hashtag, right? Hashtag Sunday fish sketch. But every week, Renee Martin over on Twitter, I've got her account up there on the screen right now. She posts a theme or an inspiration for that week's Sunday fish sketch. And then on Sunday, people submit their sketches upon that theme or, just a fish they want to draw. It doesn't have to be that theme. But here at the Sea Life Center, we decided we're just going to follow that theme and we're only going to do critters that are here at the center. So we are discussing amongst ourselves, branching out a little bit. But for today, we're going to follow that theme, and the theme is self-portrait fish or a fish self-portrait. Who knows what that means? I think Renee was actually like, I'm excited to see what people even come up with. So I think some people are maybe looking at like, what fish would I be? But I've already seen a couple drawings today of just people kind of doing like head-on fish as well, like maybe if a fish drew a self-portrait. I think I'm going with the what fish would I be, and I think you're doing that as well, Haley.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna take that interpretation as well. But I like the idea of the fish, like portrait of a fish. That's really creative. That's cool. I'll have to look those up.
So what fish are you doing then?
So I was trying to think of a fish that I hadn't drawn and hadn't done, want to represent all the fish we have. And Alex was telling me that we have our bay pipefish back on exhibit right now, which is a pretty cool little fish. So I think I'm going to try to draw this little guy. So pretty cool, little long, elongated seahorse-like fish. They're pretty nifty. So I'm gonna be drawing this one.
Yeah, having that cylinder tank up is really nice. If you ever visit us here at the Sea Life Center, you come up the stairs or the escalator off the lobby, and it's the first tank you got is just this big cylindrical tank. We've got like pipefish, tube snouts. We actually have a teeny tiny little decorated war bonnet in there just now. So that's a fun tank, and it's just really cool to see the bay pipefish in there because we usually have some like eelgrass or longer weeds, and the pipefish like to just kind of hang out in there. So that's the fish Haley's going to be doing, and I'm going to try my hand at drawing a rockfish, I think. Specifically, the yellow eye rockfish. Really, really like them. I actually was interacting with one yesterday, on Friday. Oh gosh. Time's going by, but on Friday I went in and I dove in our bird habitat, which is the habitat you can actually see behind me, right? We toss it up on the screen behind me when we're doing these. We have to go in and clean these by hand, and so we put on dive gear and we jump in there and we scrub down things. But we also feed a wolf eel that's in there. I've spoken about her before, really, really like her. So I got to feed the wolf eel, and of course, anytime you go in there with food for the wolf eel, our big old yellow eye rockfish kind of just comes hovering down from above, and they got a couple squid as well. But yeah, just a really cool fish, really big, really, I don't know if I want to say in charge. They're not particularly aggressive. There's fish in that habitat that are much more territorial, but nothing really seems to bother the rockfish. I think that's kind of where I'm going with it, is he's just sitting there, he's floating around, doesn't really want anything to do with any of the other fish. He just kind of sits there and watches them, and I'm very much a people watcher. When I go out or something like that, I like to just kind of relax, and if people want to talk, that's fine, but otherwise I'll just kind of sit there and watch the ongoings. So rockfish it is. Bay pipefish, Haley's going to have to explain that one. So.
I'll work on it here. I'll shift over to my drawing setup.
Yeah, we'll get started with our drawings here.
Yeah. So I was thinking more about the pipefish, and pipefish really like to hang out in eelgrass, which is kind of a long green grass that grows in the ocean. And they like to hang out kind of oriented vertically, so they blend in with it, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so I was just thinking, I like to be outside. I like hanging out. So the bay pipefish likes to hang out in some plants. I like to hang out and go hike and see some trees. So kind of can relate there. And they're also very kind of relaxed fish, kind of similar to what Alex was saying about the rockfish. They just kind of chill and hang out. So yeah, it's kind of where I'm going today.
They are just kind of a relaxed little fish. I mean, there's a lot going on there because I'll put the picture up for it again really quick. Like you said, they're kind of stretched out seahorse almost.
Yeah.
And they've got, I don't know if you can see it, but they've got this teeny, tiny little fin on the back, and then they've got two little teeny fins up front. And those are just kind of constantly fluttering, especially the one on the back. That's more how they propel themselves than actually with their tail.
Yeah.
They're more kind of pushing themselves around with that little fin up top. And so they're very active.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, also obviously they've got this teeny tiny little mouth. They're fun to watch eat because they just kind of use that tiny little mouth and slurp up. We tend to feed them brine shrimp, which if you ever had sea monkeys as a kid or something like that,
Yeah.
these tiny little brine shrimp. We put them in there and they just kind of slurp those right up. So, all right, so let's see. Oh, excellent. We've already got the fish going.
I'm trying. This one might not take me super long because I don't have to worry about a lot of things with this guy.
Yeah, my pencils always break. Like as soon as I start, pencil breaks.
That's just what happens in the world.
Yeah, so every week I'm like, oh man, I always suffer with the fish mouth. It's just rough. I don't know. I just never do well with fish mouth. But the rockfish kind of just have a standard sort of pouty mouth, really. So
yeah,
it's not too bad.
Not too bad.
Until I mess it up. But yeah, if you are watching this, we just kind of do this. It's kind of a nice thing to just relax on Sunday and sketch some fish, I guess. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. You learn a little bit about the fish, but I definitely encourage anyone watching along to draw some fish with us. It doesn't have to be the fish we are drawing. You can kind of just draw whatever. It doesn't even have to be in the theme. Every week, someone does some off-topic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would not worry about it.
No, but if you feel like drawing whatever fish you think you are, we'd love to see it. You can put it on Twitter. If you put it on the hashtag Sunday Fish Sketch, but also the hashtag Telequarium, that's how we can find it, and we'll check it out.
Yeah, and we just have had a good time kind of just keeping up with Sunday Fish Sketch and figuring out different ways to approach the themes. Oh my gosh, his fish mouth is atrocious. I hate it so much. I think I like put too much of a forehead on him, really.
Oh no.
Yeah, the yellow eye kind of has this like very angular forehead going on, and I have completely approached that in the wrong way and made far too angular a forehead, but that's okay.
They're tricky. I've definitely done that before where you realize your forehead is not looking quite right, and then you got to go back and fix it.
Yeah, I don't know what this fish is at the moment, actually. It's really not looking good. We're going to go back to your drawing here.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Whether you're a comfortable artist or not, doing Sunday Fish Sketch is kind of fun. You don't have to be great at it. Don't worry. I'm going to be posting my picture up, so already you can probably do better.
And we say every week, everyone is super supportive, so definitely post your stuff. People are really great.
I'm just going to start over with my fish here. I've made about 3 lines, and I just cannot get it where I want it. So that's okay.
All good.
Yeah, I need to just do the mouth last because honestly, the mouth just screws me up every time on these fish.
Yeah, plan everything else and then get to the part you don't like drawing. That's usually what I do.
Yeah, that's the way to approach it, I think. And if you're kind of interested in drawing fish and you're like, well, how do I start? Like, how do you draw a fish? We do have a link down in the description to a great little guide about drawing some fish. It's got some helpful little tips actually in there, so
Yeah,
check that out.
it's a good one.
Should mention we've also got our credit down there for our pipefish photo. I'll show that off again. This is from Joel Sartore in his photo arc project, which is just a outstanding project where he goes around and he photographs all of the animals in human care around the world. And just these great photos against either just solid black or solid white usually. Just really fun images of these animals. So check out Joel Sartore and check out Photo Arc. That's his project.
Yeah, it's a really neat project with some really beautiful pictures of lots of animals.
Yeah, it's always nice to see like what he's got.
Mm-hmm. And he has quite a few ones that were taken at the Sea Life Center.
Yeah, he's been here a few times at the center. That bay pipefish was actually here at the center. So kind of fun to see. All right. Yeah, my fish is just not going to be great this week.
Totally okay.
It's totally 100% fine to have kind of a wonky fish. You know what? I'm gonna approach it in a different way. I'm gonna do the basic shapes because that's the way you can do it. It's just kind of abstractly shape out your fish. So the body on the rockfish really is almost teardrop. It really kind of slopes back at the back there down to a little point where the tail is.
Yeah.
And then the tail is pretty triangular. It's got some rounded edges, but ultimately pretty triangular. And then the head is also pretty triangular on the rockfish as well. Like I said, it has that really kind of steep forehead. So that's going to be the steepest part of my triangle here. And then kind of more rounded there. All right, so now I have these weird shapes, and from this we're going to try to get a fish. It's not going to be my best fish, but that is okay.
I like the shape approach though. That's, I feel like, really helpful to a lot of people.
Yeah, well, it helps you like sort of figure out like where features are and that sort of thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's helpful.
If you're trying to figure out how to draw a fish, pipefish is a really easy fish to start drawing.
The pipefish is pretty easy.
You draw other fish, but just draw a noodle, and there you go.
Yep. So already I'm feeling a little better about this because kind of where that triangle ends, that's your operculum there. And on the yellow eye rockfish, I'm going to put that picture up again. They've got this really nice, like spiky plate that I just absolutely dig. It's just this really armored plate for their operculum, covering up their gills there. That being said, still going to be a goofy looking fish, but I'm at least a little more confident with it. And we've actually shown, I don't have it all queued up, the video, but in some previous stuff we've shown the little baby yellow eye rockfish.
Oh, they're so cute.
They're adorable. They just look nothing like the adults.
No, they really don't.
It's really their thing. All right. right, a little better there, and then just figuring out where fins go.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Yeah, I'll cut over so you can see mine a little up close, but I'm digging your bay pipefish. You've got the coloring going in and everything.
Working on the coloring because body's kind of done. Oh yeah, the rockfish is looking great.
It's come together better than my previous attempts. Yes, I'll accept that. I'll take that. That's a thing.
Good. Coming along.
Yeah.
Good thing.
There's a Twitter account. I absolutely love it. I want to get the name right, so I'm gonna just double check here. But basically, there's a Twitter account that frequently participates in the Sunday Fish Sketch. And in fact, there was a period during the height of kind of the COVID shutdowns that Sunday Fish Sketch wasn't just on Sunday, but they had a midweek fish sketch as well on Wednesdays.
Right.
And so this Twitter has really just been drawing a lot, and it's like some parents of a very young child who loves fish. Like that's just their thing.
Is that like? Oh, I feel like it's something like can I draw a fish or?
Yeah, so it's they describe themselves as a landlocked family trying to satisfy needs of a now 5-year-old fish addict. Fish facts and recommendations welcome. And the Twitter, if you'd like to check this out, is @drawanotherfish.
Oh yeah.
And they are Can You Draw Another Fish on Twitter, which is just great. But yeah, lots and lots and lots of cool, fun illustrations on there of different types of fish. So just really fun to see. That's a fun one to check out.
Yeah.
All right, got my fins going on here. Fins are another kind of sometimes tough. I don't know. I feel, I see it and I'm like, it doesn't look right. You just don't worry about it. It's a fish.
You just go with it.
It's just you drawing a fish for fun. Just have a good time with it. I feel like that's what the rockfish would say.
Yeah.
Just
it's a very, very rockfish vibe.
Have a good time with your fish as you're drawing it. So rockfish are a fun one to feed. The wolf eel, she kind of comes over and she'll suction feed a little bit, where she'll just open her mouth really quick and it sucks the squid in. But it's nothing compared to when you are doing that with the rockfish. I mean, the rockfish just absolutely just sucks everything in, right from in front of their face, and that's pretty much the limit of what they can and can't eat is whether or not they're able to swallow it. Basically, if it's small enough for them to just suck straight into their mouth, they can eat it. So as a rockfish, as a young rockfish, you're kind of always in danger of being eaten until you're big enough to not be swallowed by a fish, basically.
Makes sense.
I'm going to pull this up. I actually have a clip of the rockfish. We were just talking about the little baby rockfish, so I'm going to get that for you.
Yeah, they're great.
This is actually from back a few weeks ago. We had the Alaska Sea Life Center was actually the theme for Sunday Fish Sketch. It was pretty great.
Yeah, that was a really fun week.
All right, I'm going to put this up so people can see it. There we go. All right, so here is that yellow eye rockfish just going after some squid. I love how they just completely swallow it. But that's what they look like as babies. That's the baby yellow eye rockfish, and this is the adult yellow eye rockfish, which is just really, really, really fun to see. So always a good time there. All right, back to my drawing, though, to try to get that rockfish done. Oh, you've got the grass coming in. Yours is looking great. I'm loving that. Yeah.
Thought I'd draw a little habitat.
And something fun with the rockfish, you don't see it all the time, but they've got these great spines on their back that they can pop up for defense. I think I'm going to have mine kind of up. Maybe that's just how this rockfish is feeling today. It's maybe how I'm feeling today. Just a little like, stay back. Everyone's trying to maintain their distance nowadays, so it's just better if you just stay back a little bit.
Yep. Just be like, this is my space.
That's exactly it. I think I'm going to join you. The yellow eye is really easy to color. The adult yellow eye, I should say. The juvenile, I don't think I could get the juvenile's patterning in, actually. But the adult is easy.
Yeah, I really enjoyed last week. Our theme was that we were going to draw fish with color because there was this whole debate about like whether birds or fish were more colorful. So we were supposed to draw our most colorful fish, and I had a lot of fun with that. So yeah, decided to carry over the color to this week.
Yeah, coloring them was really fun last week. It was just something a little different. We kind of historically haven't colored them. We've just done the barest of pencil drawings, and then that's pretty much it. But yeah.
Usually that takes us so long that we don't really have time to color.
Yeah, but I got a couple minutes here. And the yellow eye rockfish is pretty much just one color, so I will get that. Can do. It's kind of this, it's like a dark orange. It's like a dark gray orange almost.
Yeah, they do have quite a bit of, it almost looks like they have like soot on them, kind of.
Yeah. It's weird. I really like them though.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go over them with an orange. Just really quickly. I've decided that's how I'm going to do this, actually. Every week I do this crosshatch.
The cross-hatching.
To get my scales in.
The best way.
It comes out pretty well. Yeah. As far as just like cheap, quick, easy scales. Just going one way really quick and then just coming back and going the other way with it. Just like I'm doing now. Went one way, and I'm going to come the other way, and I will just show, it is what it is. It's not the best, but it gets the job done. You've got some little bit of scaly texture there.
Oh, that looks great.
And if you just have
strong lateral line going on.
Yeah, I got to have that lateral line. The rockfish really have this nice pronounced lateral line. So, all right, and I'll just do a little bit of orange down here. And see what I can do. I'm going to actually test this out on another piece of paper really quick. What does it look like if I go over with this? Not bad. Okay. Like you said, it's almost like they've got a little soot.
Yeah.
So just doing a little bit of brown on there. Really, their face has a lot of it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to make it so that they're not just stark orange, because it's really not what they look like. It's this weird, dark, burnt orange.
But they definitely have a little bit of variation going on.
Yeah, it's strange, and it's difficult too, really seeing what they look like in the habitat unless you have a light on them. So I'll pop up that video again really quick. You can see as this one comes towards the camera, the light's really catching that dark soot look on them. So.
Yeah, where we have them though in that habitat, it's kind of dimly lit because that's usually what their habitat is like. So it's a little hard to see their coloration.
Yeah, the seabird habitat that we have here, that's where we have them housed. And that habitat is about 22 feet deep or so. And so they, when they get down there, they're kind of in the shadow a lot. And they just sort of hang out down there. They like drifting around though. And I think that's really what I like about the rockfish is just, a lot of times they're just hanging there.
Yep.
Not really doing much, just kind of chilling.
They're chill.
So I guess this is sort of how we've approached fish self-portrait. Is we were just like, what's a fish that we can kind of sort of identify with? I was like, should I have a fish with glasses or?
I thought about that too, or like drawing things around it that I like.
Yeah. But I think just taking the opportunity. We were talking about this. I don't think I've done a rockfish yet for Sunday Fish Sketch.
I don't think you have.
I certainly don't remember doing one.
Interesting, because there's so many of them, but yeah, I don't think you have.
It's possible I did one, but yeah, well, there we go. I'm going to slap the hashtag on there, which, of course, if you are following along, if you're doing these at home, we would love to see your drawings. So go ahead and use the hashtag Telequarium, TELEQUARIUM. And because it is a Sunday Fish Sketch, obviously also have the Sunday Fish Sketch on there. Cool. So there's my yellow eye rockfish. I'm gonna go over to this bay pipefish. I'm loving it. I love he's just hanging out there in the grass, which that's 100% what they do. They just hang out in the grass. They can even kind of wrap their tail around it a little bit.
Yeah.
Not quite as prehensily as like a full-blown seahorse.
Yep. They just kind of sit, kind of blend in.
Just hanging out. Much like us.
That's all we can do right now.
Yeah, but there you go. So, it didn't take long. It doesn't have to be a long process, Sunday Fish Sketch. It certainly can be. And there are people that have done like time lapses of their just incredible drawings, or you can just kind of do like a fun drawing. But hopefully you'll participate. Hopefully maybe we've inspired you either with our fish or the fish at the Sea Life Center up here in Alaska, or maybe there's just a fish you really like, or a fish you even see yourself in. You're like, oh, that fish, it's just like me. And that could be your Sunday Fish Sketch self-portrait. But yeah, I'd like to thank you again for joining us here at the Alaska Sea Life Center for another Telequarium program. And Haley and I will see you again for probably next week's. So thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.